Hello everyone, this is Roger Newcomb from We Love Soaps TV, and I'm here today in Times Square, New York City with Grant Landry.
Hi everybody.
Who you've recently seen in a new web show called the Cavanaughs, which is like a show within a show.
Started at first as a play, then became a pilot, then became a show within a show.
Right.
It's very meta, it's great.
So, but you're based in LA, but you're visiting New York, right?
I am. I spent a lot of time in New York City. It's a great place. Fortunately, all the soaps are now back on the West Coast for the most part, so I live in LA now.
Wow. Have you ever done a daytime soap or auditioned for one?
No, I've done some readings for some, but hasn't quite panned out yet. We'll see. Fingers crossed. Start a Facebook campaign like Betty White.
Hey, it worked. So let's just talk a little bit about your background. Where did you grow up?
I moved around a lot, but I was originally born and raised on the East Coast in Boston. And then I moved out to Los Angeles 8 years ago to go to UCLA, study theater arts, and I've stayed there ever since.
Are you a sports guy at all? Do you have any Celtics allegiance versus the Lakers?
Yes. In that very rough series I just played, my mom was born and raised Boston, so I was always raised cheering for the Celtics and the Red Sox. I was very outnumbered in Los Angeles, but I survived.
Wow. So you've been out in LA for a while. Yeah. You've done some other projects before the Cavanaughs that we might have heard of.
I have. I've done another indie soap opera based out on Here TV called the LAIR, which is a vampire soap opera.
Yeah, if you haven't seen that, you really, really should check it out.
It's a lot of fun. It's sort of before the Twilight craze, but you know, I think we started it.
Yeah, you totally started that.
True Blood owes us.
For sure. What else have you worked on? What other projects?
Oh, I did a lot of theater at first in college, and then in Los Angeles, and so I've been slowly transitioning into independent features and television.
Right. So on the Cavanaughs, you play Mark.
I do.
Who's a very without giving like story away, like how would you describe the character of Mark?
If I describe Mark, he's a slightly cocky Los Angeles actor. This was not.
So you're playing yourself. You're playing yourself.
It's not typecast. I swear, I'm really nice. And from that personality trait comes a lot of friction with another character who's also an actress, but is not quite as successful. So we sort of have a love-hate relationship with each other about how much success I garner and how little she has.
Wow. Okay, and it's nothing like you at all. You're totally...
No, I swear, I'm a really nice, down-to-earth person. I know everyone always says that, but it's true.
Cool. So is this the first project for the web that you've done, or was the LAIR on the website only?
Well, the LAIR serves an on-demand.
It airs on here, right?
Yeah, it airs on here, but it's not on like a primetime schedule in the sense that it's on demand, or you can stream it through the internet, or get it on the DVDs. So it's probably the first completely strictly based web series I've done. It's been really fun.
But it's kind of shot like an indie film, right? It's kind of similar.
Oh yeah, it's very. I mean, a lot of people are donating their time and their efforts and their knowledge, and there's a learning curve to it. But it's very much, we got our one really good camera, we're making the most of it. We got some very limited lighting, and we're doing it the best we can.
Yeah. Well, on We Love Soaps TV, we're using Times Square as our set today. So
the soap operas were born, so it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad for me as a New Yorker now that well, first of all, so many daytime soaps are going away, and then
you have one left, right?
Yeah, but I know my children moved out to LA. But
out there.
That means opportunity for you.
I'd rather get the one in New York.
Really?
So remember that for the Facebook campaign.
So speaking of New York, how has your vacation been here?
Yeah, I've been here for 10 days now. I've been seeing shows, visiting friends, walking the city, doing the museums. Right. It's one of the greatest cities in the world. I love it.
And I'm talking to you today after you just saw American Idiot.
I did.
So your fresh opinion of the show.
I am. My professional opinion of American Idiot. It is the best 90-minute concert you'll probably ever see.
Okay.
If you want like a real good tag, I'd say it's like Hair meets Rent for the new millennium.
Awesome. So what are your long-term goals? Where does Grant Landry want to be in 5 or 10 years?
Well, hopefully next week, or in 5 or 10 years. Just hope to be working as an actor. I think, you know, the time of these big movie stars is kind of coming to an end, and we're getting into more of these movies having to rest more on the stories as opposed to just the stars.
Right.
So it's kind of exciting that you can get involved in these really great projects without having to be a name. And so hopefully I can just keep on working on some really interesting stories in film and television.
But you wouldn't turn down a $20 million film
But for those films to get made now, luckily for us, they have to be good movies.
It seems like a lot of them, though, bomb. I mean, because you need to make so much money to make up for the cost of it. So people are making more low budget.
Yeah, so people are starting to shy away from those unless you got like a really set franchise. Then you're pretty much stuck with these really thoughtful mid-level movies, which is great.
Right. Now, do you do any behind-the-scenes things? Do you write? Do you want to pursue anything like that?
I would never wish the job of director on anyone, so I'm going to leave that to the professionals. But I do write some. I have a couple of projects that I'm working on right now, and sort of exploring those, ranging from sort of more TV comedy to short film, independent drama stuff. So.
Wow. And when you write, do you write with yourself in mind as one of the characters, or are you just writing a story?
Sometimes I include myself, but I think if you're going to be a writer, you can't limit yourself that much. If there's a good story to tell that someone of my persona doesn't fit, then you should still tell it.
Right. Now, Adrian Morales is the creator of the Cavanaughs.
Creator, director, writer, he's the mastermind.
And I hear he's really difficult to work with. Could you confirm that?
That is a blatant lie. He's one of the nicest people I've had the pleasure of working with. I mean, everyone on the set is great.
Right.
That's one of the most important things when you ever go into any project, is that you want the entire cast and crew to really gel. It really helps create a better product. And we're really fortunate on the Cavanaughs that we have that.
I've heard about a lot of tension on set. I've heard you also have a lot of dressing room demands.
Oh, you just want drama because it's a soap opera. All the drama's in the show.
Did you always want to be an actor growing up? Did you know, or did you have other dreams?
I was involved in acting a lot, but I was also a competitive martial artist. I thought about joining the Navy. So it's sort of my senior year, I really sort of laid out all the options, and one of the big decisions was if I got into UCLA theater program, then that's what I was going to do. And luckily, it was one of the first letters I got in the mail.
That's great.
My fate has been sealed, for better or worse.
And did your parents say, that's awesome, or did they say, you need to get a real job? Like, there's usually both things. Like,
at the time, they were very excited about it. A couple years later, they're starting to wonder if maybe I should have gotten a real job. But for the most part, they're supportive. They know that they believe in me, and they know that all things come in due time and do work.
Any other Landrys in the entertainment business?
My grandma always talks about some distant cousin that was always the guy that got murdered in those Perry Mason movies.
Wow.
But I think Ali Landry has no relation to me, so.
And not Tom Landry, the Cowboys football.
Every time I go to Dallas, I always pay with a credit card, and I just say Uncle Tom, and they take care of me like nobody's business.
All right. When you're not acting and pursuing your career, what do you do for fun?
Well, in Los Angeles is a great place to go down to the beach. I've yet to go surfing, but I'm still trying to learn. Just every time I talk about surfing, someone gives me some kind of horror story. There's still a bunch of museums down there. There's still great theater out there, not as good as New York. So there's a lot of things to keep yourself busy out there.
Wow, including being stuck in traffic for hours at a time.
Well, I've learned my way around. There's some secret LA passageways that nobody knows about.
All right, cool. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. Nice to meet you.
Bye, guys.